Hey guys, it's Britta. Finally doing another video. I had no intention of there being such a long break in between videos, but I was switching spaces and working where I work sometimes can, it's just a lot of hard work. So sometimes things had to get pushed to the side, and then by God's grace for Christmas, my parents got me the uber cool light because that was my one concern about filming in my room. As far as I'm concerned, my house is where all light goes to die. So I had to get this awesome light box that my dad graciously gifted me, and finally get a tripod, and finally hook up my space so that I could have all these cool, bookshelves and stuff. And I dorkily just stare at it from time to time. Everyone hopefully understands how I feel. I thought for a cool welcome back Britta thing, I should come on and do a book haul. That being said, I've got, I believe, like 8 books here, ready to go for the book haul. Book haul. For the first book, I have Something Rich and Strange by Ron Rash. If you watched my book review on Serena, also by the same author, you know that for whatever reason, I just have a love affair with Ron Rash. I don't know what it is, but I think it's because of my new-ish fascination with Appalachia. It's just something about the music of the dialect and the kind of stories that tend to come out of Appalachia, at least from what I've experienced through Ron Rash and other Southern noir writers, is how beautiful and treacherous the land and people can be. At least as, as romanticized in these stories. I love Ron Rash, and he released a collection of all of his kind of best short stories about Appalachia, and when I saw it I was just like, yeah, I have to get it. The next book is How to Be a Heroine by Samantha Ellis. I saw this book last week sometime, and I was at the Barnes & Noble to pick up a completely different book, and I saw this one and just said to myself, absolutely. But I've been in a real kind of nonfiction, how books have affected authors' lives kick. And so what I loved most is how she basically goes in and analyzes some of the greatest, most classic female protagonists in literature, and goes on to just reflect on how they've impacted her life. I read the first chapter, which is all about the Little Mermaid, which, if you don't know, is like my favorite. I love mermaids. I think that anyone who has a bookish anything in them can completely relate to how a heroine or a hero, or anyone really, a character, can just come in and kind of change how they view life. Also, I was won by this line on the back of the book that basically says, while debating literature's greatest heroines with her best friend, 30-something playwright Samantha Ellis has a revelation. Her whole life she's been trying to be Kathy Earnshaw of Wuthering Heights when she should have been trying to be Jane Eyre. That, ladies and gentlemen, is basically how I live my life. This next book is Colorless Tsukuru Tazaki and His Years of Pilgrimage by Haruki Murakami. He's one of those authors that you just don't know how their ideas come to be. And if you read any of his novels or any of his short story collections, you have to just decide to just go on the ride. I've been reading 1Q84 for the past 5 years. Hopefully I'll finish it. I finally finished the first book, so I think we're on the ride. Hopefully. Thank God. This next one is called The Book of Strange New Things by Michelle Faber. I think that's how it's pronounced, Michelle Faber. And it's about a pastor who is, I guess he's been chosen to go up to space on this special mission. And while he's there, he kind of teaches the people, I believe, about the Bible and various other things about life, strange new things that these people who've been living in space for a really long time have never heard before. In the meantime, the world itself that we know it is coming to an end, and it's basically about how he and his wife continue to, I guess, have faith or not have faith during their journey. And I just thought that that was really cool. My only hope is that they don't completely tear down Faith. It just drives me crazy. And I also really enjoy, I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up because I don't have one of those really cool cameras that flip out so you can see what's up, but it has like gold pages like a Bible would have, and I'm really intrigued by that. That's really cool. This next book is called The Encyclopedia of the Exquisite and Anecdotal History of Elegant Delights by Jessica Kerwin Jenkins. I'm not sure if I mentioned this book to you guys before, but if not, I'm going to mention it again because it's worth it. This book just kind of fills whimsical holes in my heart. What I just love is that she basically goes into like what hot air balloons are and where they came from, or where desserts like creme brulee or the art of red lipstick or champagne, where it come from, the brassiere, how that came to be. Nebula, the powdered sugar princess, a romantic ballet created by artist Joseph Cornell, or what a tempest is, what tea means. Please go buy it, please, because it's beautiful. Like, it in itself is gorgeous, and it's a beautiful red cloth bound book that just reminds you of, like, I don't know, it reminds me of Once Upon a Time or something. So good. It's like a cabinet of curiosities in book form, and I enjoy it. This next book is Belzar by Meg Wolitzer, and this book I actually was moved to buy after seeing so many other of my favorite young adult booktubers and or book blogs kind of recommending it all over the place. It's basically about a girl who has experienced the death of her boyfriend, I think before or after she's in a boarding school, and she receives a journal writing assignment which allows her to kind of go into this untapped other world called Belzar and confront truths about herself that perhaps she's not ready to confront. Now, perhaps I'm not doing this synopsis justice, so forgive me. I'm enjoying the fact that it delves into Sylvia Plath, brilliant, and with the way that it's kind of captured the attention of the young adult world, I'm sure that it's really fabulous. Have you read it? Please let me know. This next book I'm really, really excited about, and so is the rest of the young adult / regular fiction reading world. All the Bright Places by Jennifer Nevin. My gosh, I remember when I was first kind of looking on Goodreads last year to see what up and coming books were coming out in the next year or so, and this was a book I was immediately drawn to and had to get. It's about two young people. One of them is kind of fascinated by death and suicide because of different things that he's experienced in his own life that kind of devalues him as a human being. And the female protagonist, Violet, she has experienced the death of her older sister, and she's kind of trying to, you know, figure out her life after this major event. And when they meet, they kind of show each other what it means to keep on living. Books is nothing better than a book that's about heavy topics, but that manages to kind of lift your spirits. I am 66 pages in, and I think Violet already, she's so much like me. It's crazy. I love that she's writing. I love that she's blogging. And I love Finch. Finch is so effervescent and lovely. Like, you knew this is coming, right? I don't really have to give a synopsis about this one. Now, I will say that I am 124 pages in, and for whatever reason, this one didn't kind of pull me in as easily as Outlander did. Because I love the characters so much, I want to keep going on the ride because they're worth it. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, freaking how many 700s? All you people who've read Dragonfly and Amber, did you like it? Did it exceed your expectations? Did it disappoint you a little bit? How was your reading immediately coming from Outlander into this one? Did it immediately draw you in? Though I'm really fearful about Jamie. I feel like he has some kind of head problem that might factor in, like some kind of medical issue that we haven't gotten to yet, so that's scaring me. And then the last book I want to talk about, which I just kind of went into my living room to grab because I completely forgot about it, is The Dress Shop of Dreams by Minna Van Praag. I just wanted to find a really light, beautiful, just heartwarming romantic read. and I believe I found it. The shop and its shop owner can kind of readily pick up on what each customer comes in and what they want in their heart, whether it be courage or they want to fall in love, or you know, they need kind of the bravery kick to jump in and do whatever it is that they want to do. And the dresses can basically just, you find the dress and it just fits you perfectly because it's like your dress. If you love heartwarming stories, really beautiful writing, heartwarming scenarios set in the UK, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you all have a really, really blessed week. If you'd like to find me on Tumblr, I am BeatSpark the Soda Pop, and on Twitter, I am Runaway Blue. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about any of these books or other books that you'd like to recommend to me in the comments down below. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye. We'll be talking about is Serena by Ron Rash. Serena follows the story of two newlyweds, Serena and Pemberton, who travel from Boston to the South Carolina mountains to build a timber empire. Once there, they basically take over the land